Hi YouTube, welcome to Beauty in the Empty Nest. Today I'm going to provide a review of the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Stick Foundation. So if you want to hear more, keep watching. Okay, so I have fallen in love with the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Liquid Foundation. And I have this in Y315. Fallen in love with it. Use it almost every single day. Sometimes I force myself to just rotate through some other foundations. So when I found out that they had a stick foundation out, I thought that would be perfect for traveling and just something different to have as well too. But I really had my eye on it for traveling because, you know, liquids, you have to repackage them if you're to bring on the carry-on, you know the rest. So this could be, should be, hopefully is, you'll see in a few minutes, excellent for traveling. So you have some animals in the back here just, you know, making themselves at home. They aren't fazed at all by these videos, as you can tell. But anyway, so what did I think about this? Well, first of all, step back. This is the same price as the liquid, so they're both $43. The colors are the same between these two. Of course, they changed from the original HD foundation, so you have to, but the charts are all there, they're labeled twice. It's very easy to make that transformation. They have done an excellent job with that. So I again picked up the 125, which really equals Y315. So here's the container. It's a little smaller than I expected, but it still has 0.44 ounces in a stick, which is kind of hard to transfer into a liquid because you don't know how much you're using of this. So I'll talk about that in just a few minutes as well too. So little container. Again, if I'm looking at this for traveling, this is an ideal size. Doesn't have to worry about going in that quart size plastic bag to go through. Perfect starting out here. So $43. It's supposed to be a long lasting. It's supposed to be multitasking because it's also supposed to be, you can put it in your purse and then you can do it for touch-ups. You could also, it's recommended, and I've seen some other people use this in a darker color for their contour. I'm not that creative yet, and I think I'd have a little trouble spending that price for one contour stick. However, who knows? Maybe I'll love it so much that I might consider that option. So it's supposed to be completely invisible and blend into your skin. They recommend it for normal to dry skin. My skin used to be oily and now it is dry, and because it's getting into winter, it is getting very, very, very dry. So you'll see in the demo part when I'm applying it towards the end, you'll see some dry patches that I have up here and what it did to that. I am wearing it right now. So let's kind of walk through what I thought about it. First of all, you heard the packaging. I think it's very cute. I like how the top also has this clear part here, so you can easily find it. Of course, if you were using a dark color for contour or a light color for highlighting, strobing, however you want to think about that, that would be very convenient. For me, I only have the one, but it's just kind of cute to be able to see that. So the cap comes off, and it's my cap. I've heard other people say their caps have been coming off very easily. This one is very, very well affixed, which is good because I've had problems before with the liquid cap coming off easily. So it twists up, and this is a look at what it looks like here. So how do you apply it? I have gone back and forth on a couple different ways of applying it, and when you see the demo, you'll see I use both a brush and a beauty blender at the end to kind of even things out. The brush I have been using is the Morphe M439. So this has a nice rounded edge here. I like this. If I'm using any kind of brush to apply foundation, this is usually the one. I've also used my beauty blender, or actually I've been using the Real Techniques, and I think, what do they call it? Cosmetic? I think it's cosmetic sponge, but their version of a beauty blender. Like both of those. I also have tried this other Morphe brush, and it doesn't have a number on it, but it is kind of more of a foundation applying brush. So they've all achieved different looks. The beauty blender it disperses it, but it seems like it's a little bit more of a struggle because this is, and I'll put a little bit on here, this is a stick foundation. So the beauty blender, let's see how well you can see that coming on there. So the beauty blender has to really pick up the product and transfer it. And that's where I've had some difficulty getting it to really kind of move in the right direction and not smear. I don't know if that's I don't know if that describes it all that well, but I've not had great success, here you go, with using the Beauty Blender to apply it. However, I have been using this brush, and then I can spread it, and then I go back with the Beauty Blender and add any second layers that I might potentially need. And so one of the ways I've actually been doing that too, and I know it's not the most hygienic, I'm sorry, I have been taking my Beauty Blender and kind of getting a little product on it here and then applying it that way for my second coat. I usually need a second coat in my hyperpigmentation areas here and a little bit around my nose. I felt like the brush kind of nicely distributed it for a nice light version, but I had trouble even stippling it. You get that brush kind of look. Now this brush does apply it very well. This one can be a little bit of a thicker. This is more of a heavier duty application. So again, I would do the same process and you spread out here. You do then have some brush marks. So you have to make sure you go back and push in after you brush the final thing, push in, or you take your Beauty Blender and go ahead and back through there. So that's what I've been playing with the application. I have been wearing different primers under that. I haven't found one that works extremely, or I have been using different primers. I haven't found any standout. They've all worked very well underneath it. So how's the coverage? Well, first of all, I kind of talked a little bit about depends how you apply it. Depending on the type of apply, you can build it to, I wouldn't say a full coverage, but definitely a good medium, nice coverage. Or you can keep it very light. I like having that flexibility. The weekends you just need to put a little bit of something on or use this just as your concealer. I think that would work as well too with just a light kind of powdering on top there. The thing I have noticed, and it's very odd, is that as I'm applying it, I'm thinking it's not working. I don't like it. It's not covering well. I don't get that instant, oh, this is gorgeous as I'm applying it. However, when I'm done and throughout the day as I look at it, I'm like, this really is a nice foundation. It doesn't look foundation-y. Is that a word? Foundation-y? But you know where something sits on top of your skin? I do feel like this just blends in nicely with your skin. And maybe that's why initially at first when I'm applying it, I'm like, I don't know, it's not going on well today. It hasn't gotten to that point yet. So today I do not have serious powder on top of it. I did use some Hourglass ambient lighting. I think it's in the it's the dim light. I think it's in the dim light as kind of a finishing powder, but I do not have any powder on top of it. And I have found that works quite well for me. My skin is really getting dry right now, and I've never had dry skin before except for when I started this Retin-A about almost a year ago. But during the summer it kind of wasn't as dry. So I'm dealing with that. How does it cover as far as over the dry patches? You'll see I had some dry patches here, and because it's a stick and the way you apply it, you just have to make sure you go back then either with the Beauty Blender or with one of these brushes and pat nicely over that. You can't just go free form applying it if you have dry patches. So the coverage when I'm putting it on at first, I'm just always, this is not, I mean, literally I sit there thinking, did I do something different today? It just doesn't look as nice. Yet when I finish my makeup and throughout the day when I look at it, I really, really like the way that it applies and the way that it looks. It lasts throughout the entire day. I have not been getting any kind of greasy, oily spots. I have not had to ever powder. I have not ever had to like touch up. So the thought of putting this in my purse for a touch up, I don't have the motivation yet to do that because I don't feel like I'm needing that kind of a touch up. Whether if I was ever working like an 18-hour day, that might be different. But my normal 12 hours of wearing my makeup, it lasts very well. Everything seems to apply very nicely over that. And the biggest thing for me is I'm not getting that breakup around my nose. I get that redness that sometimes comes through. I'm not finding that. So these two are both doing really well. I would never work, well, I guess you could use them together. This point, this is still my favorite, but I'm still learning better and better ways to apply this. And I kind of miss that initial putting it on and feel like, oh, it looks so nice, and you continue with the rest of your makeup. I finished putting it on, I'm like, So I kind of miss that feeling, but then when it finishes, this is really nice. So for traveling, I actually leave to go out of town in a few days. I believe I'm going to be taking this one with me. I want to play with it a few more days first, but I believe I'm going to take this one with me. So I've had it about 2 weeks now, and I've been using it every day, just trying all different things with it. But I believe this is what's going to come with me when I travel next week. So as far as working with more mature skin, it has been doing where it's not sitting terribly into my lines any more than any other kind of foundation does. It's providing that extra coverage. I do sometimes still use some concealer, but I use concealer based on the look I'm going for that day anyway with almost any foundation. So it's been performing very well for my mature skin. So I'm giving this product right now a great big thumbs up. I'm really excited about continuing to play with it. And I really like having the two of these as separate options. So big thumbs up to this product. When they came out with a remake at first, I was so nervous because I loved my old HD foundation. The stick has just been a wonderful complement or addition to my foundation. So go ahead and give me a thumbs up if this has been a fun video for you to be able to watch. Importantly also, please subscribe and leave some comments and feedback below. I'm really excited about building this family and this friend base and the communication that we've had going on so far. I'm really excited about all the future videos I also plan to be able to make for all of you. So leave me comments on other things you'd also like. So please subscribe, give me a big thumbs up, and until next time, goodbye YouTube.